Hey, brand builder, Rory Vaden here. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this interview. As always, it's our honor to provide it to you for free. And wanted to let you know there's no big sales pitch or anything coming at the end. However, if you are someone who is looking to build and monetize your personal brand, we would love to talk to you and get to know you a little bit and hear about some of your dreams and visions and share with you a little bit about what we're up to see if we might be a fit. So if you're interested in a free strategy call with someone from our team, we would love to hear from you. You can do that at brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall, brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall. We hope to talk to you soon.
Accessing the full power of Google search. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Influential Personal Brand Podcast Recap. It's Rory Vaden standing in for myself and AJ today. She's not going to be with me because I am breaking down this interview about all of this data and this research and this whole conversation that we just had with Sam Richter. I've known Sam for a really long time. He's one of the most well-respected speakers in our profession and around the National Speakers Association. And man, this whole concept blows me away. On the one hand, it's tremendously frightening how much data is available out there online. On the other hand, it's this tremendously powerful tool that you can use to build your business and to build your personal brand. And if you haven't listened to the interview yet, obviously go back and listen to it. What happens is we have this whole conversation around Boolean logic and all of these very simple search term modifications that you can make to tools like Google or LinkedIn or even Facebook to be able to pull up very targeted information to serve a lot of various needs. And so, it was really about Boolean logic and mostly about, I would say, Google and LinkedIn. And, Sam has this tool. I mean, he basically takes these, he creates these custom interfaces and he overlays them right on top of all of these search tools. And we're actually buying it. We're going to buy it for all of our brand builder members. And so we worked out an arrangement to buy this. This is so powerful because I've sat and watched Sam do this. Now it's a little bit tricky to listen to him on the podcast. It's harder to follow because you can't see as he's like typing in terms, but I've sat in a room and watched him do this live where he will pull up basically like every single association meeting in an entire industry. And then, be able to pull up the contact information of all the people who are involved with, these associations and having it right at your fingertips at like the click of a button so that, if you're wanting to speak, whether you're wanting to be paid or whether you just want to go out and speak and add value to build your brand and build awareness for your business and drive free calls and do that kind of prospecting, using speaking as prospecting, a lot of what we teach. It's just like, boom, right here in front of you, this tremendously powerful free tool with Google, along with this custom interface that he has built overlaid on top of it. And so, I've been so impressed by that. And just over the years, seeing what he's been able to do with his career, that we're going to buy this. We're buying it. We're buying it for all of our brand builders members, not just for us internally. We're going to put a custom version of this inside of our portal so that our members can like do this. And I'm pumped about it because this is what we believe in this, like such a huge part of, the conversation is not limited to speaking, but that's sort of the lens that I've seen Sam do this and I use it and know him and how he uses it and how our brand builders members will use it. But, just as one example to go, how can I instantly build a list of contact information of all the people I want to reach out to, or at least know who the people are that I want to reach out to, is so incredibly powerful and such a key step that a lot of people struggle with, right? And you go, oh, I'll have my assistant do it, or I'll hire a VA to do it, but then they got to be trained to know how to do it. And then they got to spend hours digging around and try to find stuff and knowing exactly what to look for. And so anyways, I'm just super excited about this. And if you haven't listened to the interview, here are, or even if you have listened to the interview, here are some direct applications. And for my, first takeaway that I wanted to share, I wanted to just kind of share with you what are some of the key applications that I see of how you would use this, or how I would use it, or how we would use this power, this ability to go onto Google, understand Boolean logic, add more advanced search features, or obviously use Sam's custom tools that he makes. So first of all, you could use it for speaking engagements, right? To go, I want to secure speaking engagements for free or for money, to prospect and reach out to. Also media opportunities, right? Like blogs and podcasts and things like that. Also, you would use it for research on, let's say, your prospects. So let's say that you have a key meeting set up with either a VIP relationship, or maybe it's a vendor that you want to vet, or maybe it's somebody that you're looking to hire for your team, or maybe it is something like a sales meeting that you have, that you just want to know a little bit of information about that company, right? You can use these kinds of tools to do that type of research. The other use case, the other type of research that I think is huge, especially for personal brands, is doing your own academic research, like for your own thought leadership, being able to pull statistics and data and reports. And these are some of the major use cases for how you can use these free tools to bolster up your personal brand's authority, credibility, and trust, just by taking some minutes to do the research. So that was the first thing I just wanted to share with you as a takeaway, was here are some of the applications. There's probably 100 or 1,000 applications for how you could use this, but those are some of the key applications that I think are going to be relevant for us and for our brand builders members, and potentially for you. Related to that, the second big takeaway, which I had not seen specifically, was this URL that he shared called yougotresearch.com. yougotresearch.com. And I actually went to the URL and I did a search for personal branding trends reports. And sure enough, the first one that popped up was the Brand Builders Group Trends in Personal Branding National Research Study that we just released. And so, one, I was encouraged that, it's indexing on Google and like people are going to start finding it. We just released this a couple weeks ago. And two, to see it work in action, to go, the report that we put out is exactly the kind of report that we would want to read from other places, from other sources, to be able to cite in trainings that we have and in books and in articles, because it's statistically valid, PhD led, academically sound research, the kind of statistics that you would want to cite and be able to cite properly and have trust that they're accurate, and so forth and so on. And so that one tool alone, yougotresearch.com, which is a free tool, that's an example of one of the interfaces that Sam has built that already overlays that he gives away for free, was powerful, right? Like you need to have statistics to quote in your social media captions, in your podcasts, in your articles, in your sales conversations, in your keynote presentations, in your marketing collateral, on your website. Like, think of all the places you can use a statistic to in your talk, to like open a presentation and go, where do I get this data? Where do I find this? Well, yougotresearch.com, and it's free, and all this stuff is just out there on the web, which was amazing. So that was my second takeaway, is check that out, yougotresearch.com, and start supplementing and supporting the ideas that you're presenting in the world with statistically validated, empirically kind of accurate data. And that allows you to be data driven and not, have to like spend as much time as you might have to do the original data. I mean, we spent tens of thousands of dollars putting together the study that we are now giving away to y'all for free. Of course, you can go get a version of that at brandbuildersgroup.com/study. You can download our study if you want to see it, or just go to yougotresearch.com, type in personal branding, hit trend reports. At least when I did this, it was the first one that popped up. but this is how you become a real thought leader, right? Like this is how you become a real expert, is you're actually reading data and you're doing academic research in your space. And this is a great tool, I think, to do that quickly. So that was super powerful. The other thing that really blows my mind, this was my third takeaway, is just searching for file types, and for directories. So I had no idea that you could search by file type on Google and pull up, let's say you wanted annual reports, right? You could pull up annual reports, which companies release as PDFs all the time, and you can go find them on this invisible web. And this whole concept of the invisible web was kind of weird too, as you go, well, there's the websites that we see all the time because they're URLs and there's buttons that you can click to get to. And then there's this whole other world, which you can't really like navigate to. But people are uploading things, to the public domain on the web. They just don't make it easy for you to get to and find stuff. And you can find PowerPoint presentations. You can find, like these annual reports. You can find Excel files that have databases and directories, which is pretty crazy, right? You can find Word documents. I mean, I have to think, like, if I was in school having access to all this information, like what I might do with this to be able to, don't plagiarize stuff. And I guess, there's an ethical dilemma here with how much information, I guess, you feel comfortable accessing and using. Now, I would say, don't just go get a database and add it to your email list just because you can, right? That is going to violate all sorts of the email, like GDPR compliance, and it's also kind of an ethical dilemma. Not kind of, it's an ethical dilemma, I think, to just steal someone's contact information and just start marketing to them in unsolicited like fashion. But if you're wanting to make personal, customized, reach outs to people and let them know what you're doing, I mean, nothing can stop you from doing that. So I think that's a fair thing you can do. There's lots of ways you could do that. So doing that in this kind of method doesn't seem unfair, as long as you're not just like bombarding them with emails, but saying, hey, I want to call somebody and try to build a relationship with them and to do this or that or whatever, one-on-one on a one-by-one basis. I think that's fair game, because you could go knock on a door, you could call, look up a phone number and call it. You could go to an office park and do that. Like, there's lots of ways to use this information, but there's Excel databases, PDFs, Word docs. That's just interesting to me, and see like what other presentations are out there. I think you just need to be careful of, you don't want to plagiarize stuff, and you definitely don't want to do violations of GDPR compliance and things like that. But I don't know. It's powerful. So use your discernment and your judgment wisely. But pretty wild to know that you can search for file types. And I would also pay attention to which of your own files are findable in that way, right? And making sure that you're aware of where are you storing things, and is it actually publicly accessible through these search engines like Google, for example. So lots of different use cases here. The one that we're predominantly focused on is I would say as a targeted outreach tool to identify legitimate prospects that might be interested in what you're doing and reaching out to them. And also probably even more than that is doing the research. Also customization for your presentations, right? To go, all right, I want to customize my presentation to whatever audience I'm in front of. I mean, that's huge to be able to do that, right? To say, okay, maybe you talk on leadership, but you're going to go speak to the automotive industry, or you're going to go speak to the financial services industry, and go, how can I spend a few minutes, grab some key data points of that industry specific, and then tailor what I'm saying directly to them? That's next level. That's next level. I mean, that customization in our world-class presentation craft event, one of the lessons we teach is customization, and we talk about doing this. And so these tools, YouGotTheNews.com, YouGotResearch.com, and those are the free ones that Sam gave out. And then also the Intel engine, which we're going to, like I said, build into the Brand Builders membership community. Amazing. So just really eye-opening, fascinating stuff. I would, a totally like nerdy conversation that was not really on my radar of like, oh my gosh, what a tactical, practical, pragmatic kind of thing that you can be doing. And that's what we want to do here. We want to be sharing with you principles, inspiration, and then also like tactics, and make you think and go, Sam's a Hall of Fame speaker. He's one of the top speakers in the world. He's built his whole business by learning how to use Google. I mean, and teaching other people how to do this. One simple skill, which is tremendously powerful. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy all the episodes. If you did, make sure that you share this with somebody who you think would find it interesting or fascinating, and keep coming back next week. And next week, we'll catch you on the Influential Personal Brand Podcast.